Now let me first start with, about a month ago on YouTube, I was talking to some pro-Afrocentric, socialist, communist type black guy, and he was stating how American blacks didn't have rights, and I told him that with affirmative action and civil rights, that most of racism in America is reverse discrimination against whites. He said that that's politically correct, Eurocentric propaganda. Then I told him that this politically correct, giving minorities more rights than whites thing could cause a backlash and be a plan for actually increased racism in the future. And I mean, obviously, everyone always kind of laughs at that. Think about the 60s. The 60s backlash of excess war was excess peace and hippies. And that's how society works. It goes to a breaking point, and then it goes to the opposite. And throughout many years of having too many rights for minorities and reverse discrimination, with the large portion of illegals coming in and our government not doing anything about it, there's a lot of pissed off whites. I mean, the proof of it is that hate crimes have gone up 9% in the last couple years. Neo-Nazi and KKK memberships are on the rise. I mean, there's a lot of racism increasing, and people like to think it's not, but it has been. And much of it's based on job security. A perfect example is 1920s. You had roaring 20s. Mexicans were brought in for cheap labor in Texas, Arizona, Southern California. Great Depression came and people were out of jobs. Whites were going around killing Mexicans, shipping them back to Mexico. They actually made marijuana illegal out of that because they wanted the Mexicans to leave. And that's what job security. When you have job security, it's okay to be tolerant to it. But when you lose your job and you're hungry and you're struggling for survival, racism becomes a natural reality. And with this economic recession, the closest thing to the Great Depression that we've had since the Great Depression, it's pretty bad. I mean, it could become a backlash on races, and it's quite scary. I mean, one thing I heard was, and I mean, I'm skeptic of all conspiracy theories. Skeptic for or against, but I at least take them into consideration. Some I do generally kind of believe in. I mean, this one was about the New World Order, and it stated that there would be economic collapse, and this was from, I think, from 2006, and they said within the next 3 or 4 years there'd be economic collapse, which would cause a new civil war. And the parallels of that statement said years before is the parallel now. I mean, when I go on YouTube now, Barack Obama was elected president, I mean, less than a week ago. He's not even in the damn office yet. He hasn't done a damn thing. And already I see we should succeed. He's not our president. This is our country, not his. And that in itself is like a civil war. And he hasn't even done a damn thing yet. And that parallel of them saying that beforehand, and now Barack going in, and what looks like could be a civil war is quite scary. I mean, it's like that conspiracy theory really speaks to me, because it's like that's what's going on now. There's economic collapse. There's already talks of what sounds like a civil war. And it's all like intertwined. Like, I mean, with the extra race rights and illegals coming in, there's a lot more hatred of whites against the other minorities. And then you take away the jobs of whites. What were once a lot of peaceful whites become really pissed off and racist. And I mean, the Minutemen are up, going up, and I mean, the idea of divided America doesn't look. I mean, you can think about it, like cities, blacks and Latinos versus the rest of America. And I think that's a very real possibility for civil war. I mean, to make matters worse, Obama's idol is Lincoln. It was the one who started the Civil War, and that's even scary too. And what's scary is that Obama's going to inherit this deficit or economic collapse, and it's going to get worse, and he'll be blamed for it. And because he's black, everyone will blame him twice as bad for being black. To cause excess hatred from blacks, excess hatred from whites. Right there, that's the beginning of a race war. And then that's not to mention that the fact we've never, and I'm not going to take this down as I'm doing shit. But the fact is, we've never had a president with this many assassination attempts before they're even in the fucking office. And say if Obama's in for a year and he fucks up the economy, or the economy fucks up underneath him, that will cause tensions between both races. And then if he gets assassinated, that's an all-out race war. And the fact that Obama supports Lincoln as his idol is scary. Not to mention that Obama's policies are so socialist that we can't have socialism with this debt. So the idea that this debt has caused a collapsed economy, and that more debt that socialism rack on budgets will cause from Barack will cause more of an economic collapse. And if Obama perhaps got assassinated in the process, that would cause, I think, a civil war and a race war, just like the New World Order predicted. And it's quite scary that the parallel is almost identical to what they stated, a civil war starting from an economic collapse within 3 years from 2006. And that's scary because that is reality. That's what it looks like right now. I mean, just the fact that Obama hasn't done anything yet, and I'm already seeing, let's succeed, he's not our president. I mean, I see a civil war happening. I mean, and it's scary that the parallel of the New World Order and this is linked. Not to mention that the New World Order is supposed to be a Zionist situation. Who does Barack Obama elect to the chief of? I mean, he has a Zionist in there whose father was a terrorist for Israel. And I mean, he's totally pro-Zionist, Barack. And I mean, he could very well be a tool to cause divide and conquer between white and black people. And that this politically correct, peaceful times that we've had for the last 30 years of race, I'm saying relatively peace, is going to come to an end real soon, I have a feeling. And I think civil war and a race war is a very real reality. And I'm sorry if people don't want to hear that shit, but I mean, I'm gonna put it fucking out there. And you can fucking criticize me, but I fucking see this shit happening. And if you don't, and you want to just keep living and thinking how you want, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm saying it could. And this looks more like it than it ever has. And if you can't take the truth, then fuck you.